Before you decide to trade or invest by subscribing to any of our tools, system, methods, posts, or commentary, please read this disclaimer document carefully. Please go to our website visualdecisions.in and read the disclaimer and terms and condition documents available there at the bottom of all pages in footer. As I told you that using geometry and geometric tool is a bit tricky. Let's understand why. Geometry requires exact angle measurement and requires those angles to exactly pass through specific price points. It also requires that x-axis, which is time, and y-axis, which is price, should be on same scale. That is, 1 unit of x-axis should be equal to 1 unit of y-axis. If this is so, then geometry will work perfectly. Now the problem with the price chart is that while x-axis, this is marked in yellow arrow over here, while x-axis or the time is in integers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, days, weeks, months, so on. Whereas the price axis, which is y-axis, which is a price axis, is in decimal points, which is like 5 paisa and so on. So 1 unit of x-axis is not equal to 1 unit of y-axis. So this makes automizing geometry a bit difficult and tricky. This is the reason why you should understand some basic concept before you start using these geometric tools. So number one is that you should use separate chart for separate time frame. I'll show you what happens when you use same chart on a different time frame. This is Nifty on a daily chart. And if I try to change the time frame to 30 minutes, look what happens. You will see all type of weird things. So what you should do is you should have a separate chart for separate time frames. Okay. Now, the second thing is that you should use separate chart for separate markets also. So suppose you are analyzing Indian and US stocks both. You should use a separate chart for Indian stocks and separate chart for US stocks. This is due to the time zone difference between them. Number 3 is that GMG tools are presently for stocks only. You can try using it on commodities, but it may or may not work. These are specifically made for stocks right now. And it will especially not work for commodities which are low price, such as natural gas. There are some trading view limitations which you should know, which is related to platform only. We don't have any control of ours over that. As many of the GMG tools, number one is that as many of the GMG tools are predictive in nature, they plot angles and lines that go into future. So TradingView does not plot more than 500 lines beyond the last bar that is available on the chart. So you may find that a tool is not plotting all future lines, but practically no one wants to go that far into the future unless you are a researcher. As TradingView is a web-based platform, there will also be processing time and power limitations. Most of the geometry tools take a lot of processing. So on rare occasions, the script may show an error. In these cases, you should do one of these things. Either reduce the swing size. What is a swing? I'll tell you later on. And if you selected a very long swing size, you should reduce this swing size. I would suggest you use a maximum of 200 to 250 bar swing, not more than that. Or second is that you remove and reapply the indicator itself. This will solve your problem. Number 3 is that if you lose internet connection while working and a script shows error, then you should do one thing only. You should remove that script from the chart and reapply that indicators. Finally, the speed and power and data limitations of your particular package that you have taken from the TradingView will also affect the performance and speed of these tools. So you please check this thoroughly in your trial period itself before you go for the full subscription.